and we will promote Bart and we'll get going here. Fantastic. Okay, I believe we have our guests tonight. So you guys are in for a treat. We've just hit the top of the hour. Bart Kotter is going to give us a look into why people join you in business. And so we're going to have a PowerPoint presentation on that topic, really delving into, why would people ever want to join you in business, this incredible product and this incredible opportunity, but more of a vision of what we're doing together in the world in 33 countries. So Bart, thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we'll hand it over to you.
Fabulous. I'm excited to be here with you. Thanks for inviting me to join. So let me just go ahead and share my screen if I can. And I want to walk you guys through some information that I think has made a really big difference in not only my network marketing profession, obviously with ASEA, but before ASEA too. So there was, it's what I call conversations to commitments, or you might think of it as, it's also been coined the close, or the Bart Kotter close. And this whole conversation came about when I was thinking, I thought, what is it that helps people? It's easy for people to get into a company, to sign up. Sometimes it's so easy that they take it for granted what we actually have our hands on. The barrier to join is what, $40, $40 US. People are in for $40. They can be excited about the products, but they may not have enough invested emotionally to really make that bigger decision. And I say from my network marketing career, because there were certain things I learned, that there were certain things that I needed to know when I was looking at ASEA, that I wanted to know, is this really a company that I want to align myself with? And I think that people, there's certain questions that are rolling around in their heart, their head. They could be, logically thinking them through, or they could be emotionally thinking them through. But those questions are specifically, who is it that I'm associating myself? Why would I want to align myself with this particular company and these people? So what I'm talking about specifically is integrity. The second thing that I wanted to know is the company solid? Is it stable? In fact, I was approached about ASEA before, in the early days, in the beginning, and I'd made a decision that I didn't want to be involved with the company unless they had a 5-year track record of success, because I know that most companies, they say you want to get up, sometimes you want to be at the pre-start or the pre-launch. Well, most companies never get off the ground. So that was something that I was looking at. So the integrity, the stability of the company, and then the third thing was the timing. And so I remember going to the fly-in. I was invited to fly to Salt Lake City and meet Bertus Norton, to meet Tyler Norton. The executive team, Dr. Samuelson was there, and I was really going there to really check out ASEA. Truth is, I had already signed an application. I was already an associate, but I hadn't really decided that this was where my home was. And I really wanted to know that I was making the right decision, the right choice to move forward in a bigger sort of way. And I remember, as I was sitting in that boardroom, essentially the conversation that I want to share with you today is more or less the conversation that was presented by the ASEA corporate guys. They talked about the integrity, who they were as a company, what their ethos was, what their culture was. They talked about the stability of the company, what Vertus's background was. They talked about the timing of redox and how special this technology was. So those things are the things that, whether they consciously or unconsciously are presenting it that way, that was what really helps to move people forward. And so I want to share with you what I think is a really important conversation that can help you move your new people to a higher level of commitment. Not just, they say that people get into ASEA, but then ASEA gets into them. And I want to show you how to help people really get into ASEA. And ultimately, it's helping them to identify what their why is. You know, you can have a million excuses why not to do something, but all you have to have is one really good reason why you're doing it, why you want to, what's going to get you, what's going to help people to really get through the roller coaster ride of a network marketing business. It doesn't matter what we do in life. We're going to have some ups and downs. We're going to have some challenges. And sometimes that network marketing career can be in a more extreme roller coaster ride, higher highs and lower lows. Part of that depends on your mental perspective, how you approach this. And so, you know, we have ideas and ways about avoiding the emotional roller coaster ride. But you know what, if you get really clear on what your why is, that will help you, and you have a long-term perspective on your business, that will help you through any of the challenges that you have. And really help you to even out that roller coaster ride, so you're not, so it's not nearly as intense. So I've got a little diagram that I want to share with you, and it's this diagram of a house. Now, let me just first of all give you the concept of where I'm going with this. And I would really suggest that you take some notes. You want to put this in your own words, but I want to give you the visual of mentally how you want to structure a conversation when you're talking with people. And by the way, this conversation can be something that you can really present a version of it with people when you're first talking with them about ASEA, or you can have a higher level conversation with someone who's already been an associate, and you really want to help them to make a bigger decision to step up their game, to be a key player in your organization, to be a real key person that you want to focus on to build your business. Because ultimately, if your goal is to get to Diamond, to get to Ambassador Diamond, Presidential Diamond, don't you think that you're going to have some real solid leaders on your team with you? Well, that's what this conversation is about, is how to really have that conversation to help people to step up that level of commitment so that we can play this game at a bigger level. Yeah, there's no fun in playing small. Let's play big. Let's help people to really succeed in a big sort of way. So the structure of this conversation is, the first thing we want to talk about is the belief system. ASEA has believe, belong, and become. And I'm going to give you a little head start. So if we're going to build a house, you've got to have a rock solid foundation. And that rock solid foundation is, and actually, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a heads up as I move forward. So the structure of the house, the body of the house is the belong, which you're part of, being into. And the reason that you put a roof on a house is because of to protect you against the storm, to weather the storm. That's about your why, or the become. It's who we become in the process. So I'll walk through this with you a little bit. So there's three things that I want to talk about when I'm sitting down with someone. And again, this could be really at the beginning when I'm telling them why I'm excited about this company, why I've decided to join, why I've decided to partner with ASEA. Or it could be like, for example, one of your teammates and you're saying, hey, I've made a commitment, I've made a decision to run with this. This is my new career. I'm so excited about where we're going. And I'm so excited about having you on board with me too. I just want to have a conversation with you and tell you why I'm incredibly excited about this and why I've decided to partner with ASEA. So the first thing would be the stability. Actually, let me back up for just a second. Even before the stability, I would say that the one thing I like to talk about is the basis of ASEA, which is redox. I am excited about the fact that we have something that nobody else has. It's not just another Me Too product. This is something that is a category creator. It is absolutely impacting lives. And I know for me, I didn't want to have I really didn't want to just be involved with another juice or another vitamin or another, something that was just another Me Too product. To have something that's as special as what we have is really, really unique. However, you can have the very best product in the world, and I actually believe that we do. But if you don't have a combination of some other really important things to go with it, you've got nothing. Trust me, you really don't. There's a lot of good products on the market, but that's why I was looking at this. So the first thing that I like to look at is the integrity of the company. Who is it that you're actually partnered with? And when I met the founders of the company, and I've seen, and that would actually stem from the leaders of the company too. I was just blown away by the integrity. There was a presentation that Tyler gave where he talked about putting principles above ego and economics, putting people first. And I've seen companies come and go. I've seen companies that get greedy. And he went through a presentation, and I remember I literally had goosebumps. In fact, truth be known, I was actually holding back tears because I had been with a company for 19 years that had lost its way, and I had put that much of my life into perhaps climbing the wrong ladder. That company had just kind of fallen over in my mind. For me, it's got to be an opportunity that I feel good about, that's good for everybody, not just me. And so if I'm going to share something with my friends, my family, the people I care about and love, I want to know I'm partnered with the right people. And so the integrity was a really, really big thing. And, part of that integrity also goes to the simple fact that the reason that we even have this opportunity to share it with other people is because of Vertus's integrity, literally turning down a generational wealth opportunity to buy this technology, and yet to make sure that this was going to be his legacy and to protect this so that this is available for all of us. I remember I was just completely blown away when I realized what he had done. I mean, at retirement age, Vertus was successful. He wasn't looking to start a network marketing company, but he knew that this was a profound technology that needed to make it to the world, and he wasn't going to risk the fact that it could be, shelved and put away, and because there's just there's just more money in things like your typical pharmaceuticals for things. So I was blown away by that integrity. And then the second thing would be the stability. When you realize who's behind this, and of course I'm going to go right back to Vertus Norton, the vice president of strategy for a $37 billion a year company. I knew that he was one of the smartest business minds on this planet. I realized that, and Tyler, of course, being a Fortune 50 executive in the financial industry, these guys had really rock solid background. In fact, business strategy. When you think of that was their skill set, I knew that this company was going to be long-term, stable, and solid. And that's so important because, like I said, if you're going to be putting your blood, your sweat, your tears, your investment, your credibility on the line, you want to make sure that the company's going to be here for the long haul. And that's something that I was really really gave me peace of mind. The other thing that goes to the stability is the fact that we've got the patents on the technology. We own I was so impressed that they own the manufacturing facility. So no one else has the secret sauce. They're not dependent or reliant upon some other manufacturer or anything else. And so the fact that they're debt-free, have no long-term debt, they were profitable from their very first year, and so on. So that really showed me that this company was rock solid, that it was stable, and that certainly ticked that box. Now, the next thing would be timing. If you're going to be looking at real estate, they say that timing is that location. Well, in business, it's about timing. And, none of us are going to go out and be really excited about the next 8-track tape or vinyl record business. Horse and buggies are, you're not looking for whips for your horse and buggy business anymore either. So what about redox technology? Well, it's exciting to know that it's one of the fastest growing areas of science on the planet. The medical research that's done in this area, and to hear that this is really one of the fastest growing areas that can make the biggest difference on people's health was very exciting. The other thing was important to know that couldn't hurt anybody with this technology. So here we are let's just take a look at the global situation also. The global situation is such that people are looking for what? They're looking for ways to earn money from home. They're looking for ways that they can improve their health. The network marketing profession is exploding. Literally, people are loving the idea of the low entry cost, the ability to be your own boss, create your own destiny. And so from a timing standpoint, it could not be better. So if we're looking at a house, we've got to have a rock solid foundation, and that's exactly what we have with ASEA. And so these are the things that really intrigued me, and why I could really put my faith and belief behind ASEA. The second thing is about belong. All right. So if I'm talking with one of my associates or one of my prospects or one of my associates, I want to just let them know that I'm excited about the team that we have in place and where we're going with this. So if you're going to build a house using this analogy, and you could even draw this out like this, is just very simple stick figure house, but the belong is that you feel like you've got something that you can be a part of. And this is about your family, something that you're belonging to. And so I would just say, look, I want to let you know, let's say, for example, if I was talking to Dan, I just want to let you know that I'm committed. I'm running with this thing. I've made a decision that I'm taking this all the way. And the other thing is I would let them know why I would be excited about having them in business. So what you're actually doing is you're asking people to partner with you in business, not to just be a customer, but you're looking for what are the qualities, what are the attributes, what are the skills, what are the things that make it exciting about the person. So again, if I was talking with Dan, I'd say, Dan, you've always been really successful in business. You're an entrepreneur. I love how you are with people. I like how you present. You got great skills. I love your sense of humor. I really think we could do some amazing things together. And I want to let you know that I'm just, that's why I'm excited about having you take a look at this to join me. But I also want to let you know I've made a decision. I'm running with it, with you or without you. So if it's not your cup of tea, that's perfectly fine. But I really think that it'd be a whole lot more fun to do it with you than without you. And in fact, I think that we could have a lot of fun. We could help a lot of people, and we could make a lot of money in this process. And so, hey, I don't know if this is for you or not, but I want you to do me a personal favor. I want you to take a really good look at this. We're really check it out. And that would be if you were prospecting someone in the beginning, but the same conversation, just a different version of it. If you've already got someone on your team and you're really looking to lock in a commitment of helping someone to really make that decision to drive their business forward, to be your next bronze, platinum, gold, diamond in your team, you're looking to lock in that level of commitment. So the simple fact is you just have a version of that conversation. Now, I want to just share with you just for a second, just the analogy on this conversation. Sometimes network marketers get a bad rap for being too pushy. I don't really think that's so much the case in network in ASEA, but I know of other companies in the past. One that starts with a big letter A that has had that reputation in the past. The thing is with ASEA, we don't have to be pushy. I want to give you an example. If you were to hold up your hand, and if I was to push your hand, what do you typically want to do? You want to push back, right? So I want you to just kind of understand the feel of the energy of this. So, hey, I've made a decision. I'm running with this. I'm committed. I would really love you to consider joining me in business. So I'm kind of pushing a little bit. But when I pull back is when I say, look, I want to let you know I'm running with this with or without you. And as I pull back energetically, I don't know if you can kind of feel, but people kind of have this feeling of, hey, don't leave me behind. What is it? So, people want to be on a train that's going somewhere. They want to be part of something that's big. They want to be something that's part of a bigger purpose. But if you just feel desperate, if you feel like you have to have this person on board with you, you have to have them join you, you're going to actually repel them. You're going to push them away. So you want to have a good posture. You want to have a posture that you are absolutely committed. You don't really care if they join you or if they don't. Of course, you would love them to join you, but if they don't, it doesn't matter. There's billions of other people on this planet that you can talk to, and you will, because you've made a decision. You've made a commitment, 100% commitment. So when you just let people know what your commitment is, then that's when they say that once someone is totally committed, then providence moves too. All sorts of meetings, circumstances, events, resources fall into place. So make sure that you have that level of commitment when you're communicating with people, and you're declaring that commitment to yourself, but you're also declaring that commitment to them. So really this whole conversation is so important, because you declare your commitment, you let them know why you want to have them part of you. In fact, remember the very first conversation I had when I was involved with, when I got started with network marketing. The guy who was talking with me, he says, hey, I've heard really good things about you. I heard that you're ambitious, that you're self-motivated, that you're a real go-getter, you're a people person. Is that true? And I remember kind of sitting up a little taller in my seat and saying, yeah, that's me. Now, granted, I knew he was buttering me up a little bit, but it still felt good. People like to hear nice things about themselves. And I'm not talking about making anything up. I'm not talking about just some, script. I'm thinking, what are those qualities? Let them know, because you really want to create that partnership and that friendship and take it to another level. And then have that position where, with or without you. Now, the other thing, part of this conversation is fun, helping people and making money. If you understand different personality types, I want you to understand that people do things for different reasons. We tend to think that people do things for our reasons, not their reasons. And so let me just give you an idea. I learned personality types: supporters, controllers, analyticals, and promoters. Supporters, controllers, analyticals, and I'm missing one.
Promoters.
Control.
Promoters.
Promoters. Thank you. From the promoter herself. Thank you, Cindy. I had a little mental block. And Cindy is the biggest promoter I know, I think, especially when it comes to the costume parties at ASEA. She has the best costumes. So let's look at this. Why would a supporter be involved with ASEA? A supporter is involved with ASEA because they love helping other people. They want to make a difference. They're the ones that are looking, who can we heal with these products? And that is their passion. Why would a controller personality most dominantly be interested in this? Because it's show me the compensation plan. How do we make money with this? It's not that they're not interested in helping people, but that's not their number one driving reason typically. And by the way, supporters and controllers almost diabolically opposed in terms of what drives them. So if you talk with a supporter about making money and gosh, this is a great business to where we can really, you're going to actually turn them off. And the same if you talk about just your main conversation is just helping people with a controller, you're probably going to turn them off because they're going to say, well, how does this work? What is the compensation plan? How do we make money? How do we get started? And so, and then of course the promoters, the Cindy's of the world. Hey, when's the next party? How do I win the next trip? They want to know about the people, they want to know the fun, hey, what's happening at the convention? You got to come to the convention. It's the most amazing party, the greatest group of people. I'm so excited about this. So I kind of address all these, helping people, making a difference, helping, having fun, making some money. And so we're kind of hitting all those personality types. But if you're aware of kind of what personality type is that you're talking with, you can kind of address that. But anyway, that conversation is about really hitting all those personality types. The next part about this, as I mentioned, after saying all that, I've said, hey, I don't know if this is for you or not, may or may not be for you, or I'm not sure if you're already in, I'm not sure really what you want to do with this, but I just want to let you know I've made a decision, I'm running with it. Let me just ask you a question. And the question would be, if ASEA was a vehicle that could create anything for you, your family, the people that you care about, the people that you love, what would you ultimately want out of an ASEA business? And and by the way, this might seem a little strange, a little, a little corny perhaps, but I've done this for years. And I'll just grab a pen and I'll say, if this pen were a magic wand, or if you want to get more creative, you can get one of these little things with little crystal things in and you can create your own magic wand. I say, look, this might seem a little silly, but I want you to just play along with me for a second. I just want you to pretend that you're 6 years old. So often that we've been kicked in the teeth or the gut so many times, we've been let down from different things that we've done or been involved with. If you're like most people, sometimes we forget how to dream. I want you to just pretend you're 6 years old. You've got a magic wand. You've just won the lottery. If time and money was not an obstacle, what would you want? What would you do? And I'll just ask some questions. And most people, for example, would say, oh, well, I want $1 million or I'd want financial freedom. Now, that's a good place to start, but that doesn't actually mean anything. You need to drill down on this a little bit and say, let me ask you some questions. If you could live anywhere in the world, any home anywhere in the world, where would you ultimately like to live? What kind of lifestyle would you want to have? And I find it's kind of fun and like I say, I like to turn this into a game, and I'll just present it that way. I want you to just play along with me for a second. In fact, do it right now. If it helps, just close your eyes and just say, I want you to just pretend that you're walking out on the balcony of your home, your brand new home. You just signed the papers. I want you to just take a breath of the air, and what do you smell? And I want you to just now kind of imagine looking around, and what do you see? You smell pine trees? Do you smell ocean air? Are you in the mountains? Are you at the beach? What do you smell? What do you see? How does it feel? Are there neighbors? Do you have space? Do you have animals? What does that look like? I want you to now turn around and look at the house, walk inside. What does it feel like? All the vaulted ceilings. Can you see the living room? How does that feel to you? What is your ultimate space, your dream space? What does that look like? Now, I want you to imagine if you walk out the front of the house or front of where we're at, and there's a car out there with a big red ribbon stuck on it. And I hand you the keys, and you could even pull out some keys. I just want you to just imagine walking out there. What is that car? What does that look like? If you're a controller, it might be a Mercedes. If you're a promoter, as Cindy Buck, is probably going to be a Corvette or red Corvette or something. It's going to be something, but I want you to just imagine climbing in it. And I want you to just imagine turning on the ignition. And I want you to just think, what does that car smell like? It smells like new car. Is it leather? Is it vinyl? How does it feel? Turn on the ignition. What does it sound like? Just imagine that. Just, is it wood steering wheel? How does that feel? What color is it? If time and money was not an obstacle, where would you go? What would you do with your family? Would you like to travel? A lot of people say travel. And so don't leave it at travel. Where would you go? I've got tickets. You can go anywhere. You can take anyone. Where is the first place you want to go? Beautiful. Hawaii, fantastic. Where's the next place you want to go? Where's the next place you want to go? If time and money wasn't an obstacle and you could create memories and experience for your kids, what would you like to do with them? What are the memories? What's on the bucket list that you'd like to create there? And then it's interesting. Sometimes you have supportive personalities that it's all about giving to charity and helping other things because they almost feel guilty to accept something themselves. So I'll just say, look, it's okay to spoil you out, but let's start with that. If that's what you want to do. If time and money wasn't an obstacle, there's so many beautiful causes where you can make a difference. Of course, ASEA's Advancing Life Foundation is a great way to contribute. They do some really amazing things. Share some stories. Malsor just building houses for people in Africa that are struggling, for example, would be a beautiful one. But to share some of the stories and experiences. But what would you like to do? Where would you like to contribute? And then I always like to move to, if time and money was not an obstacle and you could just play, you could do, what is it that you dreamed about doing that just seems, maybe more of a fantasy than a reality? What would you do? Would it be skydiving? Would it be scuba diving? Would it be golfing all around the world? What would you do if you could just play? Just go out and play. And I know that I'd probably I'd go to Colorado and get ski lessons from Cindy Buck. She is a phenomenal skier and teacher, but or maybe I just say, let's rent some helicopters and go heli skiing. But play, get some ideas. And here's the next part, and this is really important, is I would just say, I just want to tell you that, okay, so this is the question. If time and money were no object, where would you be? What would you be doing? What would you become? And if I was talking with Dan, if I was talking with Cindy, I just want to tell you that everything that you've said that you want out of an ASEA business, if you could have anything, I'm just telling you, I'm here to tell you that you can have it. It's not only my experience, but it's the experience of so many leaders in our business, that if you're willing to do for 2 to 5 years what most people are not willing to do, you can have a lifestyle that most people only dream of. And I've got one really big question for you. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? This whole conversation, by the way, comes to that one question. If you're willing to do for 2 to 5 years what most people are not willing to do, to have a lifestyle that most people only dream about, is it worth it? And I will tell you that 99.999% of the time, people will say absolutely. And that's where I just say, welcome aboard, welcome home. Hold out my hand, shake their hand and say, let's go for it. Let's do it. We'll do this together. And by the way, when I say when people doing what most people won't do, simple stuff. I'm just talking about having a vision, which they just shared, being willing to share it with other people, being coachable, being teachable, being a team player, make an investment, being consistent. I mean, it's not tricky stuff. It's all pretty straightforward. And that welcome aboard, that is where we're making a commitment, a decision to work together. And that's where you focus, you then dial in what their plans are, and you go to work. But this is the conversations to commitment. I think it really is just dialing in a way to really help them to identify what their why is, what the dream is, lock into that long-term, make the, and they've just given a 2 to 5 year commitment. When you shake hands and you say, let's do it, they've just said yes. So anyway, that's, there we go. Cindy, back to you. And Dan.
Fantastic. So good. I hope that people watch this over and over again, because most of us are having conversations about, people's health and their limp and their, their eyesight and their health and whatever, which is very important. But this is a much broader conversation. This is when your business goes into steroids and you're doing multiplication rather than addition. So incredible presentation, Bart. Really, really appreciate. I think, it's so good. If people will watch this again and again and just kind of get other people dreaming and answering questions like this, get them thinking about what is possible when they leverage this vehicle, this is exactly, their business will take off. So Danny, anything you want to add?
Oh, no, Bart's one of the best at doing it. He got me into the,
Yeah.
I remember the day he called, and I keep saying it, he sounded like a kid in a lolly shop. His excitement on the phone. He's the one who got me to the fly-in to Salt Lake City, which ultimately, as you know, the reason why I'm still here. But look where it's led, and it was his guidance and support, and him. I moved into the business because of Bart. The product worked for me physically, but at the end of the day, I had such a great leader to take us to where we wanted to go to. Such great support. Well done, mate. Great presentation. A lot of help for a lot of people.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm so glad this is recorded. So yeah, you can get this on the Atomic Wellness Facebook page, and highly recommend that you get this out to your team so people can have broader conversations about the ASEA project and what this project really is. It's huge. It's absolutely huge, and it's for everybody, and it's for healthy people, and it's for business people like Bart, like Danny, like myself, who are looking for a life that we couldn't get with a small business or a job. And we were able to leverage the infrastructure that this incredible company has put together for a very minor investment. So fantastic insight, fantastic presentation, Bart. Wonderful. Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much. Been a pleasure. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, mate.